Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we have the fifth part of the Dutch defence, and it's my favourite one. And this variation is the fianchetto attack, when we play the g3 move. So, d4 and f5, we know these first few moves, and we have covered c4, we've covered e3, knight to f3, and my second favourite, which was bishop to f4, this very aggressive move. And now we're covering my favourite of all of the Dutch defence variations, g3, the fianchetto attack. So, we have knight to f6, bishop to g2, and this is where the bishop gains all these light squares of control. All this to the bishop. e6, and c4, so gaining even more central control as white. So this is a very strong opening. Knight to c6 and knight to f3. Bishop to b4 with check, and we have bishop to d2. As we've seen in all the variations so far, we've seen this bishop to b4 move giving check. Well, most of the time the response you'll see is by defending with the bishop. You don't really want to move to c3, you don't really want to move to d2 with the knight, because if you move to d2 then it's sort of under a pin by the bishop, and if you move to c3 then it's still a pin. And even though it looks like a nice development, eventually the bishop will take, and then you'll get your bishop stuck behind these pawns. But if you move the bishop to d2, you ask, do you want to trade or do you want to retreat? And most of the time it's going to be a capture, so bishop takes on d2, queen takes on d2, and b6. Knight to c3, and we have bishop to b7. We have d5, so pushing forwards, and we have knight to e7. Castles on the king's side, and we have e takes on d5, c takes on d5, and we have the kingside castle from black. So here we're seeing some exchanges, and the centre looks a bit weak from both black and white, because this is a very aggressive opening. It forces lots of trades and attacks, but it's very powerful as white. You can see as white they've got very nice strong defence. This is the strongest variation you can play of the Dutch defence, because this is very strong as white. The two knights are developed, they can control the centre. Same with this knight, this is controlling the centre as well, this square. And the bishop is nicely, indirectly controlling all of this. Along with the king safe, the two rooks are connected, and the queen is developed on d2. With black, it's a bit different. The king is nice, and the queen is stuck. The development is stuck, although the knights are nicely developed, they're on a very strong position attacking this square. So the queen needs a bit of a better development as black. So we have knight to e5, and we have queen to e8. So trying to get out this way, so trying to come down these white squares. We have rook a to c1 and rook to c8. So these rooks are dominating the c files. We have queen to d4, and we have c5, so asking the queen to move. So the queen has to move. So instead of moving en passant, when d takes on c6 and knight takes on c6 with an attack on the queen. So from here, the best move from the queen is to e3. And now there could be a trade of this knight could capture, and what's going to happen here? Now, a good move to play as black would be playing a move such as getting this knight over to a square like e4. So, or you could play knight to d8. Knight to d8 is quite a passive move, but it still works, because then you're going to get bishop takes on b7, and then this is extremely strong, because then it forces the knight round to this side of the board, and the knight loses a bit of tempo. So this is still very strong as both, but I would rather be in white's position because it's a bit stronger and you've got a bit more control. So hopefully you've enjoyed this video on the Dutch defence fianchetto variation. Please remember to like and subscribe. Thanks for watching, and see you soon.